To celebrate 25k, I'm gonna take everyone's favourite level 6 shithead into Bitterblack Isle. Rook isn't worth much on his own, but with enough babysitting, even he can make a small dent in the hardest content in Dragon's Dogma. The reason Rook sucks isn't too complicated. He's stuck at level 6, and his gear is trash, and he has barely any skills, and he's dumb.
What the fuck is goblin mode?
We can fix one of these things, his gear. Items that can be acquired through purification cannot be given to rental pawns, so we can't just throw a bunch of Bitterblack equipment on him and call it a day. This means we need to find the strongest non-DLC equipment that cannot be acquired through the purification system. Rental pawns also can't receive any equipment above Dragon Forged. The strongest mage staff that can be gifted to rented pawns is Valen White, but it has a level requirement of 41. So now we're forced to use Favoured Canopy. It can be gifted to other pawns and doesn't have a level requirement. It's nowhere near strong enough to tackle BBI, but it's the best we got. For armor, I gave Rook the Ancient set from the Black Cat and the Abyssal outfit. These sets combined offer really good debilitation resistances, and for pants, I just pulled something random out of my storage. Now we need to get everything Dragon Forged. I went to Duskmoon Tower and bullied about 4 cursed dragons until everything was Dragon Forged. After that, I summoned Rook and gave him his new fit, but there's still more we can do. I was going to turn my fighter into a full support magic archer. Magic rebalancer for a group sigil that gives double magic attack and defense, vortex arrow for crowd control, and bracer arrow for defense and knockdown resistance. And for augments, I used retribution, reinforce, and restoration. These augments proc when you revive a fallen pawn, with all 3 giving bonus attack, defense, and healing to your pawn for 60 seconds. So when Rook inevitably dies, he can do so again, but hopefully slower. I also slotted Conveyance so I can walk fast when carrying him to safety, and Grace, because I thought it would be fun. For weapons, I brought Blackwing Bow so I can deal some damage, but for the most part, Rook is going to be doing all the hard work. I'll also use Rusted Daggers to apply Torpor on enemies. For those unaware, Torpor is a debilitation that slows an enemy by 50% for a short amount of time. And finally, for something a little extra, Sapphire Daggers, which apply magic weakness debuff on enemies, so Rook can hit just a little harder. As a last resort, I loaded up his inventory with curatives and throw blasts, because I have absolutely no faith in him. Finally, Rook is ready to face BBI. That being said, I am not going to force Rook to fight Damon's second form. His first form is fine, but Form 2 has heavily inflated stats and is immune to Torpor. I don't have the patience for that. Okay, I'll start the montage now.
One, two, 3, 4.
What the fuck?
Incredible!
This is big brain time.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Beware its roar! Seems its talents bear poison. Seems its talents bear poison.
I've had it up to here. Jeez, take this.
Oh no!
I'll grab hold of it! I'll scale it and strike from above! Get this shit off me!
So unfortunately, Rook didn't deal the final blow to Damon. He actually died to poison damage from my rusted daggers, which is probably more impressive than Rook ending him with his godly level 1 angle. My strategy with Damon was to just keep him torpored as much as possible, otherwise I was buffing Rook or resurrecting him. I also used sapphire daggers to break Damon out of his vortex so Rook could wail on him, which also inflicted magic weakness. I didn't really like how involved I had to be for this fight to be feasible. Thankfully my daggers did barely any damage, so I spent most of the fight applying status effects and buffs, while Rook did the damage dealing. In conclusion, Rook is bad. That's the end of the video. I feel like people have been asking me to cover Rook for a really long time now, so I figured it would be good for a 25k subs video. I never would have expected reaching 25k subs when I mainly just do Dragon's Dogma content, so all of the support is really appreciated. I'd also like to thank both my past and present patrons for their contributions, except for the Spirit of a 1994 Nagash model. Your name is so long that I have to format the credits around it, but yeah, thanks for watching.